the channel, guys. So in this video we have Fenrir from Beast Deities. This is their version of Broly. Finally got it in hand. Super excited about this. It's coming in 3 different boxes: the pen holder, the bookmarker, and then the actual figure comes in this huge box. So this is what the box art looks like. We have Fenrir in the front. This just says concept design, not final product, but he kind of looks like that without this fur. And I think the hands might be all one color. The side of the box has like a wolf and Fenrir. This is what the back of the box looks like. We have the figure here with some of the items that he comes with. I guess this section here is explaining what the items are about. You guys could pause the video here if you want to read what it says. And then we have the top of the box with more lore here. Again, you could pause the video and read all that. It's pretty interesting. I did read it already. And then the other side of the box with the wolf, and then the bottom with a bunch of warning signs and things like that. So let's go ahead and get this guy out of the box here. Like I said, I was super excited to finally get this in hand. I've seen videos, pictures, everybody posting their figure online. I got mine a little bit late, but better late than never. I did order mine off of 5K Toys. The price for this is the B010, which is I guess the original version. I pre-ordered it on 5K Toys, so the total amount after sending the second payment came out to about 65, I believe, if not 70. But definitely a lot better than all the aftermarket prices that this figure is going for. This figure shot up quick. So he does come with 4 different faceplates, and here are the earrings for the faceplates. We have the head sculpt. Get this stuff out of here too. And then the actual figure. So this box is huge for a huge figure. I'm gonna open it up upside down because usually when you get Beast Deities figures, they always pack their stuff like at the bottom of the clamshell. So it does come with some instructions. This is actually the first time I've seen this in a Beast Deities package. You guys can pause the video here if you want to read the instructions. Right off the bat, you need a blow dryer, some gloves because the hair is going to be sharp, and then this is just to assemble the arms. So we'll go over all that stuff. He does come with 1, 2, 3, 4 different pairs of hands. And then this hand is holding Goku, I believe. And we'll see how that works also. This is the cloak. Probably something that, you know, most of us are never going to use. But this cloak does have some metal pieces inside, so you can shape it. And then we have the crossed arms back here. Finally, the figure. So inside of the clamshell, we do have Broly with the wolf mask. These hands look like, you know, kind of like wolfy hands. And then 2 key blast effects. A whole lot of accessories, man. I love Beast Deities. They always send a lot of accessories. So let's go ahead and look at this figure first. So he comes with this wolf helmet on, and it's kind of hard to get all this on camera, but this is what the wolf helmet looks like. I think that looks pretty sick. There's a lot of nice details in that. I mean, if you were to like actually pose him on your shelf with this wolf sculpt on there, I think that'd be pretty cool to be different. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and get Broly all put together so we can take a closer look. So he does come with 2 different neck pegs, and this is with the longer neck peg on him. I think that's more suited. It definitely looks more proportioned. You get to see like a little bit more of his neck. The neck still looks buff, but I would say that this is probably like the hardest neck peg I've ever had to swap out since collecting these figures. So I had to use a heat gun. I used shock oil. I actually used the helmet for the Beast Deities wolf to press it in so I wouldn't mess up my fingers. I went ahead and popped off this like the top part of his body to kind of get a better grip, and then finally when you snap it in, you know, you'll see that it definitely looks better you're definitely able to get a lot more articulation and range once you get the longer peg in there. And then with the faces, they're easier to swap out when you have the longer peg, so you have more to grip on. And then when you're sliding them on, it's not really hitting his neck there, so it gives you some space there. I think it's intended for him to have the longer neck peg, so it gets his neck to pop out a little bit more. So looking at this figure up close, you can see that the hair is like a dark green in the middle, and then it goes to a lighter green to get some shading and contrast there. The line work and the spikes, the detail in Broly's hair looks really, really good. Get that little piece of hair out of there. The muscles in the back, super detailed with some shading in between the musculature. We have shading here on his delts, a little bit of shading here on his bis and tris, and on the inside of his bicep. The emerald is like a darker blue, see-through. There's no shine or shimmer in there in that or the gold gauntlets. Same on both sides. He has the lower back muscles, and then this soft rubber plastic can just fold inside. He has some shading underneath the ab area. The chest here is a nice soft rubber plastic. His necklace, again, with the matte gold and then the dark blue emerald. The earrings that you put on, they sit pretty well and they're able to articulate. I can't really fit my finger in there, but they do move and they do stay in place really, really good. The forearms have good detail on the side for the musculature. The emerald on his belt, same thing with the gauntlets, just the matte gold and then that blue. And then we just have like just the red soft rubber plastic there. And then for his pants, it's a off-white with kind of like a blue shading in the crevices. And then the gauntlets for his ankles, same thing with that emerald. And then we have the red soft rubber plastic here. This looks like a red harder plastic, and then they painted the gold over that. So it's also gold underneath his boots. So really good detail in this guy. This is definitely probably the dopest figure on my shelf at the moment. So the articulation for this guy, especially when you put the longer neck peg in, he's definitely able to get a lot more head tilt. And that's how far the head can go down now with the longer neck peg. To look up, it's still hindered a little bit, but you still get a little bit more movement in that area. The arms go up about that far, and since his upper body is like the softer rubber plastic, he's able to reach in to pretty much cross his hands over. That's really good. Careful with some splitting here when you are articulating him, or at least like forcing it to like the maximum, but there's not a lot of gaps in the butterfly joint, so that's good. With all this soft rubber material, it makes it a lot easier to get the articulation going. Reaches back that far. Bicep swivel is going to work good because we're already detaching those arms. Double jointed elbow. It looks nice with no gaps, but it doesn't really fold that much because his arm is so buff. These pegs are your standard stuff, but they work really well. And then the ab crunch on this guy, after you add the modification, you can now get him to crunch a lot further to where you can see like a gap back here. So that's really good ab crunch now after cutting out that piece. And then reach into the back about that far. Side to side, a lot of motion there. Just kind of like shimmy it or wiggle it around, and you could get some more rotation there. So this upper body has really good movement after you cut out some of that rubber that's inside. The bottom half can go in a full 360. And then with the 3.0 legs, and the skirt opens up on the side, so you get some splits to the side. And then the splits can go forwards and backwards, but you kind of angle his leg out to go around that butt pad there, because that butt pad is like a harder plastic material. The thigh swivel works good. These double jointed knees are nice and tight. That's good articulation for such a huge figure. And then finally his ankles. You got a little bit of an ankle rock. And then the ball peg is in here. It's nice and squeaky tight, which is what we want. Since he's so big and he's going to be holding up other figures, you want him to kind of, you know, have really good balance. So, and then the toe hinge. There's all little pegs here to hold the hands in place. And then the hands, they're all like a softer rubber plastic. So they should be very easy to swap out. Broly comes with 2 fists, 2 grasping hands, 2 fully open palm hands, and then the 2 hands that hold the key blast effect. And this key blast looks super sick. Obviously there's a peg hole in the actual hand, but this is what the key blast looks like. And it's just a clear green with some electricity that's going around it that you could catch. Hopefully you could catch it really good on the camera. And for this last hand, it's just the hand where he grips Goku by the head. And they actually added shading in the Super Saiyan hair of Goku, so these pegs are fit for the Beast Deities Goku, if you guys were able to grab that one. This part does not come off. It's made to fit and be stuck on there, but good detail in his hand. Good addition to the accessories. He does come with 4 different faces. For the first face, it's kind of like a smirking face. I don't know, he looks happy. I don't know if Broly ever looked happy. Then he has a stern face. Good line work and detail. Beast Deities definitely, they hit it like spot on, I think. Especially with these next 2, because next is his yelling face. And that's sick, right? Look at the detail they have inside of the mouth and the teeth. Again, the line work, the color green that they chose. For the 4th face, this has got to be like the crowd pleaser right here. They have Broly's famous grin, or I guess you'd call it a smile, but he's like cheesing, but menacing, evil. I really like this face the most. I'm sure all the rest of the DBZ fans out there definitely like this face. We'll see what these crossed arms look like. The peg is super thick and it has an R inside. The other side will have an L. They actually left some like oil in there, so the crossed arms come separate. We have gold painted gauntlets with the orb, translucent blue or transparent blue. There's actually no shading in the crossed arms. It's showing 2 of his fingers there. On the inside, not much, because that's pretty much going to be against his chest. I really like when the crossed arms assembly is separate. Super dope. Even though they didn't put the shading in the arms when you have the crossed arms on, still a super sick look for Broly. They could probably fit a little bit more flush than they do, but again, when you're just having them posing straight up and you're looking at them from like this distance and these angles, you definitely won't tell that there's a gap. And before I close out, we could do some height comparisons. Here he is next to Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks. This Broly is like super tall, super massive. But I've seen some pictures on Google that kind of like have this height to scale comparison like kind of like accurately. Goku's head was coming like to his tip of his skirts. That's kind of like on point. Some would say he's too big. Others would say he's just right. So it's all preference. King Cold was the biggest figure that I have in my collection, minus Great Ape Vegeta. So this is how big Broly is to this dude, and this dude is like huge. Broly definitely towers over King Cold now. s.h.figuarts definitely, you know, held its own for a long time. I still really like this Broly. I'm sure all of us collectors do, especially those that don't collect third parties. But I would say as a you know, Dragon Ball Z collector, third party or not, like this Broly is a must-have. It came in 3 different variants, and if you guys were able to pre-order yours on 5K Toys, you won't get like, you know, a crazy price, because the price already went up. It's about $250 to $300 depending on which variant you get. So there's Super Saiyan 3, there's a battle damage, and then there's this one. Here are the differences between these two. s.h.figuarts Broly is like, he's got the same size arms, the chest area and the abs. This Broly is still actually buffer. The shoulders are the same. Here's what the backs look like. The emeralds are different on the belt and in the necklace. This one, s.h.figuarts, is like a lighter blue. Kong Studios is a darker blue. I actually like Kong a little bit better. It's a little bit more see-through. We were all waiting for an updated Broly. So here that updated version is, and he is towering over s.h.figuarts Broly. I like the scale. Just having a new Broly on the shelf, like I love that. Definitely worth it, especially if you got the good price on 5K Toys. To pay the aftermarket prices of wherever they're at now, which is like $250 upwards of $300 and things like that. If you are like a diehard Dragon Ball Z collector, I would say don't miss out on this, because I think that price will actually go up a lot higher as the time goes by. So if you feel like this video is helpful, you can go ahead and hit that like button. If you want to keep an eye out for my next videos to come, go ahead and subscribe. Until then, thank you for watching.